This is our presentation on Sahel Mali. I'm Piper.
I'm Hugo.
And I'm Koena.
I'm Benjamin.
And I'm Palmer.
Start off with an introduction. The village we're focusing on is in southern Mali within the Sahel region. The level of funding we chose is that of a nonprofit organization, just to challenge ourselves to really look for easy, sustainable ways to help villages. The region we're in is rural, and there's pretty much no basic infrastructure at all. And there's no electrical grid present within the area, and the villages live off of subsistence agriculture.
The UN has identified 17 goals for sustainable development. These goals help engineers design solutions that find a balance between people, planet, and profit. For our project, we focused on 5 key areas to further these goals. And these key areas are thermal energy, water, electrical energy, health, habitat, and transportation.
So for thermal energy, we try to pick a solution based on the available materials and resources of the region due to budget constraints of being a nonprofit and practical purposes. So the objective was to affordably decrease the amount of wood necessary to meet the village's thermal energy needs while decreasing smoke inhalation, because that's a big problem. And since open fire is a primary method used in villages for heating and cooking, and open fires present a risk of burns and other health problems caused by smoke inhalations, we decided to choose the EcoZoom jet stove, as it was the most viable option, and it is overall cheaper than installing any new infrastructure in the area, and it was lightweight. It would help tackle any problems that open fires had.
As we moved on, we came across how we could improve upon the current water collection and that whole system, and trying to make it more reliable and able to operate year-round. So we wanted the current system. We wanted it to be well powered and by a PV solar array, and also the pump couldn't function at night or in cloudy conditions. So we came with a solution that we just wanted to make or have a portable battery bank to keep the well operating in the suboptimal conditions in the village.
For electrical energy, our objective was to provide a more reliable source of electricity for the village so they could use more appliances during the night. Currently, the only energy in the villages comes from solar panels and is stored in batteries overnight. And then a solution that we decided to go with was choosing the Now Light, because not only is it human powered, meaning it operates year round and through the night, but it can be easily set up and repaired, and charging it for 2 minutes can power a light for 2 hours, or charging a cell phone enough to make a 15-minute phone call.
When looking at health, our objective was to increase access to emergency care for the villagers, while also trying to lower the risks of chronic health and issues due to smoke inhalation. In the village, there's only a small clinic for primary care that's not open consistently, and the nearest hospital is roughly 35 kilometers away. The solution we chose was an Impala ventilator to help keep villagers stable while waiting for transport to the hospital, so it can aid in respiratory functions to help keep the villagers alive while they wait for transportation to the hospital or to get better.
When looking at habitat, we noticed that currently the houses in the village have very little ventilation, and they struggle to maintain heat within the house, especially during the colder months. And so our objective was to design a house, or part of a house, that will help increase ventilation while also increasing heating efficiency. Our solution for this was hemp insulation, which, while it does not increase ventilation, it is cheap and easy to install in houses, and it insulates very well. It is also much less carbon intensive than other heating methods. And
Our objective was for transportation was to provide a way for the villagers to be able to move several people long distances in sort of emergency situations. Um, Bicycles and motorcycles are the primary methods of transportation used in the village, and a bus travels to the village and to a nearby market once per day, but doesn't go to a hospital. The solution we came up with was the Zambulance. It's a modified bike trailer that can transport a person lying down, giving the villagers an easy way to transport injured people to the hospital without needing to wait for a ride to come to the village first.
So for some of the benefits, for thermal energy or solution, it produces little smoke and is portable, which is important for the people of this village as they are sometimes known to be nomadic. And in case for some reason the fire is needed elsewhere, it can be moved. Also helps with the health of the region. For water, the battery bank is easy to implement and can be used for other devices aside from a well. So it's versatile. For electrical energy, the now light, the charge from the battery can be used at night, and it does not emit CO2, which is good for the carbon footprint of the area. For health, the Impala ventilator can be used throughout all stages of recovery. The hemp insulation is easy to produce and has a low material cost. And for the Zambulance, it's more readily available and does not produce emissions in use compared to traditional ambulance.
Now, when it comes to the actual cost towards the villagers, is basically next to no cost aside from the ventilator, where it's roughly about $46 for each ventilator used. But other than that, such as the thermal energy, water, electrical energy, the habitat, and transportation, more or less don't take up any funds or billing for the village.
Looking more into cost analysis for the nonprofit, if we bought one of each unit and only 100 square feet of the hemp insulation, it would be just a little over $2,000. And optimally, we would buy more than one unit, so it would be more. However, that's easy enough for a nonprofit to do. And again, the cost to the villagers is pretty much next to nothing. Compared to what they were paying before and the health benefits they get from it today.
And these are the engineers that would be required to help meet our sustainable development goals in thermal energy, water, electrical energy, health, habitat, and transportation.
As we come to a close, we wanted to show the sustainable development goals that we didn't list listed there. And although we didn't list all, we did target 9 of them, which we based on each of our solutions. But secondly, we did want to look into the cost per year per person of the village, more as it is up in the air for several solutions. But all in all, we are confident in our solutions. However, the sustainability of things can always be improved upon, along with working to make all our solutions socially, just as some may bring social conflict.
Thank you for watching our presentation.